Hi guys, welcome to another video on Great Life channel. Today I'll be discussing this financial decision making when it comes to buying a car. There are a lot of people that are faced with this kind of decision, either to go for a new car or a used car. So in today's video, I'll be going into reasons why you should get a new car or a used car, depending on your situation, depending on your financial circumstances. So in this video, one of the major objectives I want to achieve here is for you to be able to assess yourself and determine which of the two is most suitable for you in terms of your financial circumstances. Let's get into it. So when it comes to this particular question of should I buy a used car or a new car, when you have this personal finance pundit, they usually tell you buy a used car because it costs less and it has a lower insurance. Fine. This is not far-fetched, but however, situation differs. If you have enough cash to play around with, or your situation or your circumstances really require you to get a new car, then you should go ahead, because there are some people that walks more than an hour drive from where they live. In that kind of circumstances, a new car may be more reliable for you. So let's get into the reason why you should get a new car. So some of the reasons why you should get a new car, as I highlighted in this video, I have a few arguments for a new car. One is the value you get. So when you get a new car, you get some personalized features that you probably want to see, and you cannot really estimate the value of this to you in terms of how it makes your life comfortable or how it makes your life easy when it comes to using your car and enjoying it. So the first one is value. The value the car gives to you is kind of you cannot attach monetary to it when it comes to that. The second one is not a piece of crap. What do I mean by this? A lot of effort goes into buying a car. For instance, you do a lot of research. You call a lot of dealers to get a good deal. You do a lot of findings to actually look for which car should you get. Is it Japanese cars? Is it German cars, or the cars from the US? You do a lot of research, a lot of homework before you even go into negotiations. And then at the end of the day, you wouldn't want to buy a car that will give you issues, that will give you problems, that will add to your headache. You want to get something that will give you peace of mind, that will give you some kind of comfort, some kind of value that will give you so much value for your money. So that's what I mean by not a piece of crap. The next one is reliability. When it comes to reliability in terms of comparing a new car to a used car, definitely you can get that from a new car. New cars are more reliable because they have not been used. They are the mileage are very perfect compared to like used cars. Probably some their mileage is even over 200,000 or 100,000, and then so they can develop fault or issues along the way when you use them compared to a new car. So the reliability is there when it comes to the new car. Next one is last longer. Most often than not, depending on the kind of new car you get to use them for a very long time. You get to get your value for money for a very long time, even after probably you've completed financing a car. You can still use maybe another 4 or 5 years. For instance, if you get a $30,000 new car and then you finance for 5-6 years, you can still use it for another 2, 3, even 4 years, depending on the kind of car, depending on how durable the car is. Especially some of these Japanese cars like Toyota, Honda, you can use them for 7-8 years. Next one is longer warranties. Yeah, when it comes to new cars comes with a lot of values to it, with a lot of offers that you get from manufacturers or dealers. They package that in a way that will give you so much value for your money, and usually comes in terms of warranties. Yeah. So we probably get like 2 year warranty or even more in some cases. So next one is resale value. Resale value. So this applies to new cars, especially when you buy a new car and then you complete financing it, and then after that you decide to sell. For instance, after using a car for like 6, 7 years, you may decide to sell it for 40 to 50% of its original value. So that is when you have a very good resale value compared to like a used car. A used car already, the value has depreciated drastically even before you get it, because you may probably get it from a second owner or even third owner, depending on the history of the car. The next one is latest technology. When you buy a new car, you get access to latest technology. It could even be like electric vehicles or electric cars that gives you so much comfort that makes life easy, and then you spend less on maintenance of those vehicles, because you spend less on maybe gas and all that stuff. The next one is financial incentives. When it comes to financial incentive, manufacturers nowadays gives competitive finance and lease rates. They give competitive lease rate, including 0% financing. I remember when I was looking for a car to buy in the last I think in the last 4 months. I went to a Nissan dealer, and then I was offered a 0% interest rate for a 2019 Nissan. So those are the kind of financial incentives when you want to buy a new car, depending on what brand, depending on the what kind of year you are interested in. Because at that time it was just for the 2019 brand, not 2020. So depending on what you want to buy, you can get some financial incentives. Let's look at reasons for buying used cars. So, used cars, there are a lot of arguments also for used cars. As we all know, people usually talk about, oh, when you get a brand new car, by the time you drive it out of the car lot from the dealer, that it has lost its value, or it has depreciated significantly. So that is one perception about new cars. Another one is used cars have lower insurance. Yeah, so lower insurance in this case is when you buy an old car or a used car, you get lower insurance premium that you'll be paying every month for that kind of car. And then the next one is registration fees. Registration fees for a used car can be lower compared to a brand new car, depending on which jurisdictions you are. So some jurisdictions kind of gives a low registration fees for used cars compared to a brand new car. So some brand new cars, they usually apply it to the value of the car or the price of the car. So used car kind of have an advantage when it comes to registration fees, depending on the jurisdictions. The next one is used cars cost less. Yeah, this is not far-fetched, and this is obvious when it comes to buying used cars. Used cars cost far less than brand new cars, and then especially if you don't have large budget for cars or vehicles, used car might be a very good option for you. The next thing is worry less about minor damage. Yeah, when you have a used car already, you tend to bother less about little scratches or minor damages compared to when you have a brand new car. When you have a brand new car and you got it, that could be so much headache to you when it comes to that. So used cars kind of give you that comfort when it comes to worrying less about minor damages. So I will share my story with you. So a few months back, I wanted to get a car. Uh, in the real sense, I don't have so much budget to play around with at that time, and then myself and my wife have to look at the main reason why we want to buy the car, and then we look at some other circumstances around it in terms of, are we going to be using the car to travel a lot, in terms of affordability as well. Do we have the budget? And then, for instance, we look at this scenario. So we look at our overall or household income for a year, and then we compare that to the value or to the price of the car. So at that time, the new cars that we're seeing at that time were about almost 45 to 50% of our annual salary at that time. So we look at that, and then we kind of, we may not be able to afford this. We may not be able to pay for this when it comes to affordability, or we don't have the budget to finance this at this point in time. And then thinking of the fact that we'll be packing this for some time. We will not be using it all the time. It will have less traveling time compared to maybe we're using it on the road almost every day, and then you probably be traveling long distance with it. So we look at those options. We look at our personal circumstances, such as other incomes that comes in, and then we feel we can't use other incomes to purchase this, and then we have other expenses to take care of. So that these are some of the circumstances. These are some of the factors that you need to think about when it comes to buying a car. You can't just buy a car in isolation, in terms of isolating yourself to only thinking about the car without thinking about every other thing, every other factors or expenses that you currently incur, so that you can look at your budget and see if you can accommodate financing a car on a monthly basis. Let's go to conclusion. So I'll be concluding this by looking at or talking about some factors that you need to consider when it comes to buying a car. Either you're buying a new car or you're buying a used car. For example, you need to ask yourself the reason why you need the car. If you are able to ask yourself that questions or that particular question, then you'll be able to know or identify which of the cars, either a used one or a brand new one, that best suits your need. And then you'll be able to answer a lot of questions about your budget and finances as well. When you ask yourself a question about, do you really need a particular item or a particular car or something of value that you want to purchase? So that will guide you in making the right decision, making the right financial decision when it comes to that. The next one is budget. So budget, you look at your expenses, all your incomes, and you see, do you have room for this? Do you have room for monthly finances to finance a car? It could be used, it could be old, because there are some dealers that also gives financing options when it comes to some used car as well. So another one is negotiate well. Either you're buying a used car or a brand new car, you need to negotiate very well. Because, for instance, two people can go to the same dealer and get the same car for two different value or two different prices. So it all depends on your negotiation power, the power to negotiate. The next one is, make sure you do a lot of research about the best options for you when it comes to maintaining your car when it comes to who you're gonna be taking your car to for servicing and all that, and in terms of the kind of insurance that you get for your car. Thank you for watching this episode or this video. I really appreciate your time. If you like this video, please click on the like button, share this video with friends, subscribe if you have not done so. We'll see you next time. Take care.